What's going on, guys? Kyle, Finance Bro here. NIO and pretty much every single Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer is getting crushed in the market right now. It seems NIO is getting the worst of this, and they're down a little over 6% just today. In this video, we're going to be going over why the pullback for NIO is happening, when it will stop, and where I see NIO going in the future. Before we get in this video, I just want to ask you guys to please hit the like and subscribe button as it helps the channel out immensely. Also, definitely check out our WeBull link if you guys want a couple free stocks with WeBull. It's super easy and it's literally free money. You can also check out a bunch of other links that we have in the description below. They all support and help out our channel, and you guys get some free stuff or whatever it entails in the affiliate link below. Alright everyone, so the first thing we're going to start off today is why is NIO stock moving lower today? We already talked about how NIO is down upwards of a little over 6% on the day, so let's take a look at why this happens. So shares of Chinese electric vehicle company NIO were moving lower on Wednesday afternoon. The company shared some positive news, a production milestone earlier in the day. This is obviously good news, but its shares were caught in a sell-off of electric vehicle stocks that may have been driven by investor concerns about an ongoing shortage of automotive semiconductors. So we actually talked about this in a previous video where we talked about NIO and of course the huge issue with the ship that is stuck, or is no longer stuck I should say, in the Suez Canal. When that ship was stuck in the Suez Canal, it was backing up a ton of shipments of semiconductors, which is a very, very crucial part in really electrical manufacturing, or almost all forms of manufacturing in general. Semiconductors are critical for this, and for automotive, a lot of those ships were carrying them. So unfortunately, we're seeing a huge shortage in those right now because of that. Supply chains are super backed up, and this is likely the reason why. So that's a little bit unfortunate because we're seeing a huge sell-off because a lot of these factories that produce automotive vehicles, especially for electric vehicles, and NIO has already had to shut down one of its factories. I'm not sure if they've reopened, but we'll have to see. But that is one of the main reasons why this stock fell so heavily today. NIO CEO William Bin Li had good news and some less good news to share at the event to commemorate the production of NIO's 100,000th vehicle on Wednesday. The good news is that NIO now has the ability to build 10,000 of its upscale vehicles per month. This is obviously good news. That's a significant milestone, but it comes with a catch. NIO is limiting production to just 7,500 vehicles per month for now because supplies of automotive semiconductors and battery cells are constrained amid global shortages. That's not so good news, and maybe why NIO and EV stocks were selling off in Wednesday afternoon. So of course this is very speculative because no one knows for sure. Sometimes when stocks sell off, there are a lot of speculative ideas and thoughts that kind of get thrown around about why stocks are selling off, but it seems like this is pretty spot on. I would argue that the shortage of semiconductors is likely why the sell-off is happening. Now, what's interesting and what kind of sucks is that if this shortage wasn't happening, I would think that NIO would be doing very well. There's a lot of good news coming out. It looks like their 100,000 car, their, what did it say here, where they said they were putting in, let's see here, 10,000 of its upscale vehicles per month. The numbers are beginning to climb. They're doing well. So it kind of sucks that this sell-off basically killed pretty much all, if not most, of the momentum. I mean, NIO was already trending down for the past couple of days. So this is just a little bit unfortunate. So now what? According to Chinese electric vehicle news site, Li told reporters at the event on Wednesday that he expects the semiconductor shortage to be a short-term issue. Of course, right? It's not like this semiconductor shortage is a massive problem that's plaguing the US. The main reasoning for it is just a backup in supply chains, which obviously it does not get resolved in a day, but it's not something that's going to last for a very, very long time. Short-term issue affecting NIO's production in the current quarter, but likely erasing after the middle of the year. So yeah, coming up here really relatively soon, the middle of the year. So that's a little bit why NIO fell today. Now, I've got another very interesting article that I actually wanted to talk about, and this is NIO Stock A Buy or a Sell? I know a lot of you guys are probably invested in NIO. I was invested for a little bit in NIO, actually. I held quite a few shares. I used to trade options off of it not too long ago, but since then I've been more a dividend investor, so I've kind of switched up some of my plays and everything. But let's take a look here. Is NIO stock a buy or a sell? At Insider Monkey, we pour over the feeling. All right, so yeah, this is just kind of a little background of people that wrote this article. Prominent investors were taking a bearish view. The number of long hedge fund positions were cut by one in recent months, so not much obviously. NIO Limited was in 34 hedge funds portfolios at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020. That's an all-time high. high for this statistic is 35. Our calculations also show that NIO isn't among the 30 most popular stocks amongst hedge funds. This is to be expected, right? NIO is a Chinese company, so already people who are in finance and who are in these hedge funds who are trying to stay away from companies that aren't necessarily, or a little bit more international in their basing. The thing is, NIO is obviously trading in American depository shares. It's not trading, it's not like this is an international stock in a different exchange. The reason I'm bringing this up though is that because it is a Chinese stock, I think there is unfortunately a lot of what you might say animosity towards it because of that, because they don't trust X, Y, or Z about the Chinese government or whatever you might have, whatever opinion you might have, right? That is a kind of an unfortunate factor that's playing into NIO. Why do we pay attention at all to hedge fund sentiment? Our research has shown that a select group of hedge funds holdings outperformed the S&P 500 ETF by 124% since March 2017. We were also able to identify in advance a select group of hedge fund holdings that significantly underperformed the market. We've been tracking and sharing the list of these stocks since February 2017. They lost 13% through November 17th. That's why we believe hedge fund sentiment is an extremely useful indicator that investors should pay attention to. Yeah, I would agree. You know, hedge funds are able to really see this kind of stuff, and you know, some of them are clearly outperforming the S&P 500 by quite a bit. So let's take a further look here. David Siegel of 2 Sigma Advisors, No Stone Unturned. This is almost more of an advertisement article, so there's a lot of talk of course, their own you know, ideas. Let's see here, marijuana, 10 best battery stocks. Let's just go down here to, do hedge funds think NIO is a good stock to buy right now? Heading into the first quarter of 2021, a total of 34 of the hedge funds tracked by Insider Monkey were long on this stock, a chance of negative 3% from one quarter earlier. On the other hand, we were a total of 16 hedge funds with a bullish position in NIO a year ago. With the smart money sentiment swirling, there exists a few notable hedge fund managers who were increasing their holdings significantly or already accumulated large positions. So here we have a number of hedge funds with NIO positions, right? So as you can see here, this is in 18, 19, 20, you know, all the different quarters, right? Spiked here in Q1 of 2019, then kind of fell down a little bit. As you can see though, in 2020, Q3, Q4, NIO all-time highs, right, of hedge funds, with NIO positions, right? So interesting, right? Hedge funds are really putting a decent amount of money into this stock, it seems now all of a sudden, after, you know, NIO is now, you know, hitting or has hit all-time highs, and unfortunately has pulled back a little bit. So let's take a look among these 5 funds. This just kind of breaks down how much money is associated into that. You guys can read that if you'd like. Due to the fact that NIO Limited has an experienced bearish sentiment from hedge fund managers, it's safe to say that there exists a select few money managers that elect to cut their positions entirely by the end of the fourth quarter. It's worth mentioning. See, okay, this is actually something I wanted to talk about. So we know that a ton of hedge funds are currently holding NIO in several positions, right? We know that whether or not they like the stock or not long term, they are holding positions in hopes of making some kind of money with it, in hopes of making some kind of profit with it, right? So this, you know, and the reason I bring this up is there's a lot of people I talk to who don't like NIO because they think it's just not going to be able to compete with Tesla. They don't think the numbers are going to scale properly. You know, there's a lot of negativity that they have about it. But in my opinion, every single NIO report that we've seen come out for their delivery numbers has always exceeded expectations, and it has always gone above what it was previously at, right? So the delivery numbers and the production numbers continue to rise. We're continuing to see more expansion. The government backs this company, which is always huge for any company that wants to be successful in the long run, because obviously the more government backs your company, the more money you get. That's grants, right? You know? And I like when a company has these factors to it. And to me, NIO just makes sense. It's in a bullish, you know, I'm bullish on the industry of EVs in general. And I think that NIO long-term will really be a big competitor. The big thing is obviously moving it to markets that's not China, right? Because for the most part, China is a very big place, one of the largest, you know, populations in the world. But I think they have a real shot of doing very well competitively if they can, you know, begin to export to other markets in the US, in Europe, in Australia, and, you know, a variety of other countries, you know, and continents. I think they have the potential to do very well. So this whole article, right, is NIO a buy? Really, it should be called, what was it, right? Really, it should be called, is NIO held by hedge funds? Answer, yes, a lot more than it used to be. Because as far as this article goes, I mean, overall hedge fund sentiment score for NIO is 46. Stocks with a higher number of hedge fund positions relative to other stocks, as well as related to their historical range, receive a higher sentiment score. This is a slightly negative signal, and we'd rather spend our time researching stocks that hedge funds are piling in. I mean, I guess, right? You know, hedge funds, see, this is the problem, right? When you're basing all of your, you know, investment research decisions and time spent into investments on whether or not hedge funds are putting attention to a stock, I don't know about that one. I do agree, hedge funds have a very, you know, reasonable reason to look at, right? If you look at these huge, you know, these really large funds like Vanguard, BlackRock, when you look at companies that they're invested in, right, you probably feel a little bit more confident about them because obviously they have much more capital than the average retail investor, and they're able to leverage into a lot more shares, you know, with the money they have available. So I think that for the most part, I'm bullish on NIO. Whether or not it's a buy, well, of course, this isn't financial advice. This is all my own opinion. I like buying the dip, and right now I see a very possibly nice dip buy for NIO. You know, it's been, you know, really dipping. Let's take a look real quick at the trading view chart here. Just real quick, let's throw this into the 5-day chart, right? As you can see, boom, 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 right? Just been hammered down, right? We were at, you know, up at 42 at one point, and this was only, I'm back on April 1st. So, you know, it's only been a couple days, and NIO is you know, far from that. Well, I guess not that far, but you know, relatively speaking in terms of stock price. The all-time high for NIO, I believe, was around the 60s. Yeah, it was about like $64, $65 or so. Now we're at 37. Interesting. Massive run up at the beginning of 2020 or mid 2020, and then 2021 just continued to run up, right? And now we're kind of seeing a decent pullback. So what happens next, right? Well, two things happen, right? We either see a consolidation and we see that NIO, you know, finds support somewhere and then can continue into a new cycle of growth and expansion. Or it might just continue to dip if more retail investors and hedge funds alike lose more confidence in the stock. Now, as far as my own personal opinions, views, I already stated that I'm bullish on this company. I like NIO. I like what they're doing. And as far as this goes, I think I might buy the dip on this. You know, I like where it's at. I like the fact that, you know, for the most part, it seems, I mean, who knows if it's done dipping, and I'm not going to go into technicals right now just because I don't want to. But it seems that, you know, for the most part, you know, if we look at other dips, right, the lowest it's gone, you know, in recent times is like 35. So really, we're only about $2-3 off from that price target, or from that price. You know, I don't know. I might buy a dip, maybe buy a little bit more if it goes lower, and then ride it out, just waiting for good news. You know, that's the whole thing, right? The whole philosophy, and my philosophy, especially on the market, is when there are red days, I buy. And that is one of probably I would say 95% of the time, the reason why I succeed in the market and I can make money in the market is because I buy on red days. And it really is that simple. But overall, very bullish on NIO. A lot of people are bearish right now because of the semiconductor shortage, unfortunately, which I don't understand why. It's a short-term issue, but I'm looking forward to seeing where this stock goes in the future. And let me know in the comments below if you guys are holding it, if you're thinking about buying it, and just what you guys think about everything going on with it right now. And other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for NIO. Everything that's going on with this stock right now, why it's pulling back, my thoughts on it, of course, and when it's going to stop. I think as far as NIO goes, my own personal investing mindset and philosophy, I like it. I'm a huge fan of the EV industry as a whole. I know a lot of people think it's a bubble, but in my personal opinion, I'm really bullish on it in the coming future. Like anything that's new, and especially a new type of industry like this, there's going to be a lot of valuable players in the beginning, a lot of people trying to make their mark on a relatively new and untouched industry. It's obvious we have some huge competitors here like Tesla, but if we look at other countries, especially like China, I think NIO could be a very valid and interesting company. especially considering the fact they're backed by the Chinese government and of course all of the other factors that goes into the company. I'm looking forward to more news about NIO, and hopefully we can see a turnaround in stock price relatively soon. I might be buying some of the dip because I am bullish on this company long term. Let me know what you guys are doing with this stock down in the comments below. Let me know if you bought it or holding it or have made some money with it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts in general about NIO are as a company, and of course let me know any other things you guys want to tell us down in the comments below. We love reading your guys' comments and suggestions. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new. Check out our WeBull link if you guys want to pick up some free stocks. Check out our course link if you guys want to get access to 3 amazingly valuable courses. Check out our channel membership if you guys want to get some value and of course support our channel. And other than that, guys, that's pretty much all we have for you guys today. I'm Kyle Finance Bro. Take it easy.